I've got a confession to make.
I need to get this off my chest. As a business owner, we all make mistakes.
I've got to confess.
Hey guys, it's Charlie from Confessions of a Business Owner here, and I am live once again with the one and only Kim Barrett. How you doing, Kim?
Doing super well, Mr. Charlie, sir, and yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing well, dude. Really, really good day my side. Kicking some ass and really excited to just smash out the rest of 2018. So all guns blazing, man.
Love it myself as well. So I'm pumped though today. It's one of my favorite topics. I cannot wait to dive deep into this.
Yeah, so today's topic, I'm excited by this one as well, I should mention, but today's topic is how to get more referrals for your business. And I think this is so important for every business, and I'm sure everyone who listens to it will come up with at least a bit of a new idea on how they can get more. But before we get into that, I want to ask you a question because I'm almost fascinated by this, but it feels like this is just so neglected. Why is referrals so neglected for so many businesses? Why do you think it is?
Well, it's interesting as well, right? I think there's like a portion of businesses that only rely on referrals. And then there's the other portion that never get referrals. Because I remember when going to, when I was younger growing up and everyone's like, oh yeah, my business goes from just word of mouth and referrals. Then I started my business and I'm looking around going how come no one's just where's this word of mouth action? I'll get no, what's going on? But then I think I probably relied more, my ability to generate leads was probably better than my ability to understand even how to go about getting referrals. So I think that most people, you kind of fall into one of two camps. It's you understand how to do it at the start. And then there's others that go, well, I just do my business. I generate my leads. I get people coming in. And they don't generating referrals is kind of the last thing that they even think about.
Yeah, maybe I must hang out in the other camp then. But overwhelmingly, it's I'll ask a business owner if they have a strategy to get more referrals or if they even ask for referrals. And I would say 9 out of 10 would say no. It's accidental referrals. If someone feels like giving them a referral, they do, but they don't really seek them out.
Oh, unless they go to the referral groups, man, they should be getting 5-10 referrals a week from, I'm just going to call them I and B for all intensive purposes.
Oh. He went there.
Right, but I mean, it's funny because I when I first started as well, I went to a group similar for probably a year. And I was this is so boring to me. And then they would promise me all these referrals. And I'm the only person doing digital marketing here. And I don't have $1 bajillion or people just sending me a ton of referrals. Even people who are actively looking for them for me aren't sending me referrals. Referrals suck. I'm just going to do marketing.
Yeah, well, I actually think that's a big part of it. I spoke to someone last week and I asked them this, and their response was Facebook ads got so easy to get leads. They just decided this was the only option. And, just go with Facebook ads. It's heaps easier. But then I kind of brought up, I'm but what happens when Facebook ads get more expensive or when Facebook ads, aren't the thing anymore? What's going to happen to your business then? And I feel for a business to be bulletproof or to mitigate enough risk for their lead gen, really you want to have some sort of advertising source of leads. You want to do Facebook ads or Google AdWords. You want to have a paid source. Might be SEO, Yellow Pages, email, whatever that is, something you pay to get customers. But then the other side of it is you really want to have a referral strategy in place so that every lead or sale you are making, you're potentially turning into another customer as well with no acquisition cost. And then the third leg of this tripod, if you will, is joint venture partners. You really want to have some of that as well. And I feel if you've nailed all three of them, that your business is in a really good shape where you don't really have to worry too much about, what happens with, the next Facebook Analytica scandal, or if Google AdWords gets too expensive. You really kind of protect yourself against those things.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's something that I never thought about for ages. And I'll tell you a quick story about how when I kind of saw the light when it came to referrals, because when I was getting started in my business and I wanted to get some runs under my belt, I would just reach out to people and go, look, hey, if you want Facebook ads or you want a funnel, you want something like this, I'll do it for you. I know that you have a need. Don't don't pay me anything. I'll do it, and I'll get you guys some results. And then from there, if you want to work with me, cool. If you don't, that's cool as well. But I'd love to do this for you. So I do work, and I work quite hard and make sure that I get them a really good result. And probably 60% of the time, they actually didn't want to keep doing anything. So I probably did it in a foolish way where I kind of gave them the result, and then they were like, "Oh, cool, thanks. But you just did this for us, so we don't need it anymore because you did it." And I'm like, this was stupid. Like, it was a silly idea. But what happened as a byproduct of that is then everyone would start talking, and they go, well, if someone else asked them, it's like, hey, how do you do this? Like, oh, like Kim Barrett helped us out, or Your Social Voice helped us out. So I started getting without even knowing, a network of people referring to me just by focusing on how I could help them. Like, we call it like the preeminent strategy. I'll tell you another one of those stories after. But I was like, well, look, if I help them now, like, it's only going to cost me my time. I didn't have a ton of clients, so I'll do it, and then we'll see what comes from that. And, if I get some, if they come on as a client, great. If they don't, well, at least I have some experience. But because I did that like so often, and time again, then I would just get people going like, oh yeah, if you need anything, you got to speak to Your Social Voice, Kim Barrett. And that really started to bring in leads and referrals and that I wasn't even aware of that was happening.
It's funny that you kind of accidentally created like a referral network by offering free work. But what an effective strategy if that was the intention. I mean, I'm sure you got done a little bit on some of that 60% no-go, but hopefully enough referrals came from it. So let me ask you this then. What's been your most successful referral strategy? What's brought you the most referrals for your business?
Well, so I would say actively thinking about that, right? And so by actively thinking about that and going, well, as I said, start off with I screwed it up and I didn't realize it properly. However, by giving them such a good experience, that enabled me. And I do this across the board, like regardless if something goes wrong, right, or otherwise. Like I've had a client where they were another agency, they came to us, we did this work for them, it didn't pan out as expected. A lot of people that could have just soured that whole relationship, and they've been like, yep, cool, like screw you, off you go. And I was like telling you before, it's like I had to eat, a bit of a tasty shit sandwich and be like, yep, cool, I accept it, I'll give you money back. And what I did then as well, though, because I always like to over-deliver, right? And I believe in the whole strategy of preeminence and doing what's best. I had 2 clients come to me that, especially just after refunding a guy, I was like, I could really do with this cash right now. They came to me and said, well, actually, it's not going to be best for me. And I was like, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to the guy I spoke, this other guy who, as I said, arguably could have been burnt. I'm going to send you to him. Sent the referrals to him. He closed one of them. Then he messaged me. He's like, man, so amazing, like so happy and excited. And he sent me like a whole bunch of gifts, and not gifts with a GIFS, but gifts. He didn't just send me like a crazy panda emoji or anything like that, right?
That would have been better, actually.
Yeah, that would have been much nicer. But he sent me a couple of gifts, and then he also sent back some clients to me when he was like, oh, these fall outside my scope, so I'm going to send these to you. So it's always enabled me to get really, really good referrals coming through. I remember it paid off one time. I had this call from, it was actually an ASX listed company, and they called me up. They're like, oh, we heard about you. They didn't actually tell me who it was. And a lot of the time I never find out who the referrers are. Like they're like, oh yeah, it's such and such. Or they're like, oh, several people told me about you. When I've been asking who I should work with, and everyone keeps saying Kim. And I was like, okay, well, that's great. And then it was my first big client. I think it was like $8,000 or $7,000 a month. And I was like still working at home in my spare bedroom. It was like just before Christmas, and I was like popping party poppers and throwing stuff everywhere. Because just by doing, like, consistently focusing on how I can deliver to the people that I work with, and also helping people, where I see fit and where I can as well, enable me to consistently have these referrals coming in, and like several people referring me, which is always, it just stacks the odds in my favor. And suddenly they're like, oh yeah, everyone told me to speak to you, so I'm speaking to you now. Like, can you help? And it's just always pays off.
Yeah, and I think people underestimate the value of a referral quality lead. Like in marketing, it's kind of known that a referral is a very strong lead type and much better than, let's say, from just a Facebook ad. So it's something you definitely want to have working for your business. But I just want to break that down quickly. So you'd worked with someone It hadn't gone well, and you decided that, look, I'm just going to refund this person. It's not the right account for us, or whatever gesture it was in. You've refunded them and then also sent them some clients from your network or some of your own clients, and then turned them into one of your best referral partners by creating an unbelievable experience. That's a good story, man. That's very well played. And I think you touched on something really important there that I just see business owners doing all the time. Let's pretend something doesn't work out with a potential client. Okay. Hypothetically, someone comes in and they're not right for your business and you refund them. In a lot of cases, people let that relationship burn. They just go, okay, well, we can't be friends now because this didn't work out. And it's just absolute madness, because there was obviously something there in the beginning where you got along, or you saw a potential fit. And I think that people will often let one bad experience ruin what could potentially be a great client in another capacity, or could work in a different dynamic. And I think you've done really well to reconfigure that relationship so they're still creating something awesome and really recovering that relationship as well, which is very well played again.
Well, I always have, and we've had it. It's kind of like one of our company values as well, which is leave things better than I found them. And it's like, even if, and we've had it happen like and I won't say to everyone, but it's like, because we've had such crazy amounts of, we talked in our last podcast about growth and things like that, sometimes things can break and it doesn't always work out the best for people. But I always try and leave people or like people in general or experiences better than I find them. And if I can do that, I'm like, well, surely somewhere the cosmic energy and the karma of the universe will pay off for me. And it's like, sometimes, as I said, it is literally like, you have to eat a shit sandwich, or probably a nicer way would be humble pie. I'm guessing. I don't know. Like
we'll go with humble pie. We'll go
tastier,
PG rating.
Right? Right. It's a little bit nicer. But after reading, there's a book called I think we spoke about it before, and you read it. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. So after reading that, it's like, well, I have to take extreme ownership for this, even if the other person at the end doesn't necessarily appreciate it. Like in all these scenarios where I've had these things happen and I've done stuff, people could and sometimes they have, at least like they go like, okay, cool, but I still don't care. Like you still, like this still didn't pan out for them, which is cool. But at least I know I've done everything on my side to make sure that things work out as they can. And I think that's why I still get so many people referring and talking and sharing with me and things like that.
Undoubtedly. I often think of you when it comes to karma points. And I think you definitely have that reputation, Kim. You would have to go down as someone that's done favors for pretty much everyone. I mean, one day something's going to go down in the world, or the marketing world at least, will have to come and help you out, just because we all owe you for the years. But certainly shows, and I love that as a company value.
Yeah. And what about yourself? Because I think as well, a lot of people, and I know I do, but I think a lot of others as well would definitely send you a ton of referrals. Like, what do you think it is that you've done to enable that to happen for you?
Yeah, so it's quite interesting that referrals is predominantly how Outsourcing Angel gets its business, and also how my agency got its business as well. So referrals have always been a really strong thing for me in business. I've always taken them very seriously. And if you're in marketing or in business in general, and I used to just think about it like this, if it's costing you $100 to acquire a client, so you've got a $100 cost per acquisition, but you can get them to refer you one client, you just halved your cost per acquisition. So literally, if you can get your referrals right, you can be terrible at marketing or half as good as anyone else and you still win. And I was always blown away with that concept of thinking, wow. And I'm like, what if they referred two people? Like, what would happen then? And funnily enough, it's like, that became a really important thing to come through. So I'll go into a few things here. Now, the first thing that really stood out to me when I broke down, how we go about referrals is you actually have to create an experience where people would be wanting to refer you. Okay, so that's point one. So if you're terrible at what you do and someone's had a bad experience with you, why would they ever want to pass that on to someone else? Like, referrals happen when someone's had a good experience or been wowed and they go, oh my God, you've got to check this out. Like, we don't share videos we don't like on social media. We share the videos we do like. We go, oh my God, Kim, please, you've got to watch this video. Check this out. And that's really what I took to heart. So when you look at working with a client, the thing that overwhelmingly worked well for us is, particularly in the first month, provide a great experience, provide a great onboarding experience, and help a client have a really good time compared to other things. Now, in marketing, right, the thing that always used to drive people nuts, and I'm not sure if this is still to this day, is communication. Like how we used to do really well and get a lot of referrals in marketing is simply communicate a lot, because they would always say, like, our last agency never let us know what was going on. We never knew what was happening in our accounts. We never knew what they were doing. So we brought in things like weekly reports. So we'd go, okay, we're always talking to our clients more regularly. And that created an environment where we would get more referrals. But the one I want to share is more interesting and is more about outsourcing angel. Lynn Padetti went on holiday to Bali, and she went and stayed at a place called Rimba, which she actually stayed at two places. The first place I don't know, but I definitely know the second one, Rimba. Now, the first place she stayed at was basically, it was okay. And she talks about this experience she had there where it was kind of all right, you know, and the food was okay and everything like that. But the second joint she stayed at, she was like really overwhelmed that when she rocked up, like everyone there knew their name. So the staff in the facility had been trained on their photos and their kids' names and everything. And like they were greeted by name when they were there. And before they even got out of their car, their bags were gone. Like she almost thought maybe stolen. But like it was already set up for their room. And like there was fresh cold drinks waiting for them on entry, and like the daycare for the kids was really good. And all these amazing things happened where she's like, I've had this amazing experience. And when Lynn came back, she went and we introduced something, an outsourcing angel called the Rimba experience. And Lynn really came up with this idea is like, you know, how could we make our clients feel like we are the Rimba of the outsourcing game? Like what would need to happen where we created that for other people? And we started to do things, instead of spending money on like marketing, we would spend money on our clients. So if they'd had a success in business, you know, we would send them a gift. If something was happening in their world, we might send them a little outsourcing angel pen or lanyard or something that was timely from there. And it wasn't always gifts. Sometimes it was just like, you know, sending them a really nice card or an email congratulating them, like creating an experience where we actually cared, like Rimba cared. Now, undoubtedly, in the execution of the Rimba experience, the referrals went nuts. And we started to spend more of our marketing budget on that type of thing over things like Facebook ads and Google AdWords because of the quality of leads and environment it created at the company. And there's a saying I always go to is like, you know, good clients refer good clients and bad clients refer bad clients. So your best clients right now, in my opinion, are the people that are, you know, going to refer you your next good clients. And it's like this whole thing we preach on this show. It's, you know, birds of a feather flock together. You know, it's an environmental thing. Chances are, if your ideal client is in your business right now, they're hanging out with more of your ideal clients. So incorporating this Rimba experience into outsourcing angels became something that is still what we use today, still something we do more of. And for every client wanting to create something where we wow them and have that really impactful moment, so they want to send us work.
Yeah, it's so true. And something that I remember I had this experience ages ago because when people started, one of the things I realized is like, as a marketing agency, yes, we start doing stuff. However, sometimes people are handing over $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, and they don't, like, normally when you spend money, you have something in return. What you have is ethereal. You get leads, right? And it's like, and things like that.
You get a phone, you get a physical good.
Right? You have something. It's like, cool, I just spent this and I get this. However, they wouldn't get anything apart from the work we would start doing. And I always went, well, it's like, well, how could I improve that experience so that they do get? So we did, like you're saying, like we ended up doing a welcome gift pack, and it would be, when we first did it, we just had this like a little, I remember the experience when you get an espresso machine and you open it up, it was this like magnetic thing, you open it and it had all the information in it. And I kept it, I was like, even though it was like my warranty and something you'd normally chuck out, I was like, oh, I'm going to keep my Nespresso, a little welcome thing. So we created our own one of those. And then what we started adding on, and you know, of a $4,000 to $5,000, $8,000 a month client, whatever it might be, we started doing our welcome gift boxes, and we did it custom. And I was like, I got the person, we had hooked up with a company, they do handwritten welcome cards, and I would tell them what to put in the card, and I would give them like one or two things that I knew about the person. So it's like, cool, health guy in fitness and does this, and then she would be like, great, here's my idea, I'm going to give him a quest bar, this, and I was like, great. And she would post those off, and it's funny again as well, like probably 50% of the time people don't acknowledge it, however they remember it. Like, it's not like, and I'm not looking for them to message and be like, oh my God, thank you so much. But it's like, as long as they remember that when they first started, they were like, oh, I got this amazing gift and this happened and things like that. Like, that's what I want them to experience when they start.
Absolutely. And you just nailed it. It's not how they act, it's what they remember. It's how they view the company. I completely agree. It's a very wise thing you've just said there, Kim. Hugely impactful. So,
and if I can just give one more point, there's a place in the very north part of Australia. They're right at the top of Australia, and they have, I can't remember what the name of it. It's like Faraway Bay or something like that. And you stay there, and it's like $3,000 a night. So the thing they said is like, how can we make, like, yes, the whole experience is worth that, but we have food, we have activities, and we have the accommodation. So they said, how can we make each of those worth $3,000 a night on their own? So we did the same thing in our stuff. It's like, cool, if they have a conversation, how can we make sure this conversation is like a $5,000 conversation for them? The welcome gift pack is reflective of a value of that sort and stuff like that. And that really made a big difference as well.
That's a great quality question. I'm just going to throw that out there. Is like, can you imagine, right? Just imagine every business owner, if you just took an hour off and you looked at what you charge things for and you go, I'm going to break this down and make every single thing we include in how we do it worth the value of this item alone. Like, if you're providing that experience for your clients, I'll guarantee your referrals increase. How could they not? That's a brilliant way of viewing it and putting things in place. So very well articulated there, Kim.
Thank you. And sorry, I interrupted you about to say something as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, anytime you want to drop a bomb like that, you can interrupt me right away. Don't feel guilty at all. I'm just trying to keep our, podcast on time here, but nonetheless, we'll get through. So I thought we should really dig into some actionable steps, like a little bit of a 1, 2, 3, or a way we could look at this to help people, like, from today get more referrals. Now, I've come up with a couple of points, and I undoubtedly think you're going to have some really good ones to come in from this, but I'm going to start with number 1. I think the first thing you've got to do is actually have an experience that is worth referring. So if you're average or below at what you do, you got to up your game. Average doesn't get referrals. Below average certainly doesn't get referrals. The only time you would get referrals in that game is if you're the only one that has that service and they need you out of necessity. And even then, that's not a strategy I would recommend. But that's start 1. Part 2, and this is a really big one I kind of think about, is if you're now creating this experience for people where you are doing things from there, don't rely on them to give you the referral. Actively ask for it. Now, this, again, is something alone that made a big difference at Outsourcing Angel, and where we do things is we actually ask for referrals. We ask people for referrals in the association, our community. We ask, do you know anyone that's suitable for this group? And it's amazing that someone that would never give you a referral, if you ask for it, will go, oh yeah, I got this guy over here. I never really thought about it. Or this girl here, she'd be a great fit. So asking for it's really powerful. How do you feel about them too, Kim?
I think they're great. And if I was to add one to that, I think is actually putting together, like you mentioned about the clients who are the right people, is like creating your client categories. And just from the propensity of going, these are like tremendous, I want tons more of, these are great, like I don't mind. And then also going, well, actually, are there categories where we go, they're not our most ideal? So if we do ask them for referrals, like you said, we're probably going to get more of our not ideal. So making sure you understand who the clients are that you're working with, so you can go, cool, I want to get more of this type of client, and profiling them, because it then does make, like, at that INB place I mentioned, right? They always ask you, it's like, do you know who your ideal client is? And if you don't, if you just go, anyone who wants marketing or anyone who wants this, that's not what you want. You need to know specifically. So if someone does ask you and go, cool, Charlie, you said you want more people in the association. Great. What people specifically do you want? Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a really good question. Really good question.
Oh, damn. Just more people, please. And it's like, okay, cool. I want someone who's like this. Great. I'll go find them for you.
Now, you actually brought up something really interesting there as well. Something that I often get asked is about incentives. How do you feel about incentives around referrals? And I want to answer this before I let you answer as well, because I don't want my answer to conflict. Okay. So my view on this is that we don't offer incentives in general for referrals. We might do something nice for a client, but my experience is if you offer clients financial incentive for referrals, those referrals haven't been as good. It's like they're doing it for the financial gain, not because they want to. So I found this really interesting thing that in a lot of cases, referrals that come because people want to refer are the best quality of referrals, and that's what you should aim for from them. And incentives shouldn't be the main driver in why someone's sending you work. Otherwise, it's pretty much like an advertising campaign and can often be more expensive.
That's so true. I just because I like it when, and I'm like, have you ever read the book The 5 Love Languages?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I like to sneakily, because it's like and one of my things is like it's is like acts of service and also like gifts, right? I love it, and then I always give gifts because I feel like that's what I like other people like.
So
I always try, yeah. I always try and find out a little bit and like investigate, and it's always good, interesting conversations. Oh, have you ever read this? Like, hey Charlie, what's your like? Out of curiosity, what's your love language if you've read the book?
My love language was, I'm just trying to think back to it. It was definitely, you stumped me on this one, Kim. I'm trying to remember back to it. All I know is I remember from reading this book that me and my partner read it and we realized we had completely opposite ones. And it was like, the example in our relationship was that like food was on her mind. I cook for my partner and give her food to show love, but she doesn't do that for me. And then she wasn't cooking for me, so I wasn't feeling love back in the same way. So it's a really interesting thing to do as a couple. But gifts is definitely high on mine as well.
So I would also say, based on what you said there, acts of service, right? Definitely. That's what you do for her, but that's not hers. So now I know that as well. I'm like, cool, Charlie likes gifts and acts of service, right? So I know, so Charlie might send me a client. I'm like, well, actually, I'm just going to do something for Charlie. I'm just going to take care of this and do something for him, or I'm going to send him a little sneaky gift. Other people, they like quality time. So it's like, I'll call this client randomly and spend half an hour with them doing something. Or they like touch. So it's like, cool, next time I see them, I give them a huge big bear hug. I'm like, thank you so much for sending me that client. Oh my God. Right?
But they were Bianca's too, just by the way. Just straight away. Yeah. And I'm not big on touch or quality time. Like, you know, I am, of course. I want to spend time with my partner, but it's like that was so much more important to her than me. So just how valuable that book is again. But keep going, Kim.
Yeah, so it's like by figuring these out as well, it's like, cool. I remember there was a couple, these two amazing girls. They run a business called She Can. I found out what their love languages were at this event. I think it was acts of service, I think it was. And so they hadn't got a logo yet for their new business. So I messaged my designer. I was like, hey, make me like 5 variations of this. Don't spend too much time, but make me 5 variations of like this as a logo. And then the next day I saw them, I was chatting to them. I was like, oh, by the way, check this out. And I showed them. And then they're like, oh my God, like we love you so much. That's so amazing. Like, because that was their love language. They're like, oh, wow. And then they always, regardless of any other experience, they always remember that I did that little thing for them. And I always like think about it and go, cool. If people send me, it's like, great, what is it? Like, if I can figure it out, like what is their love language, if you will, and how can I emphasize that for them? And I don't always necessarily incentivize like strategic and alliances and joint ventures, yes, but like for referrals, when that happens, I always try and do a little something that ties into that, so they just like locks in for them that they should always do that for me.
It's a very clever way to go about it, Kim. I really, really like that. If you've got that information, incredibly powerful way to show you care about a client more, which is incredibly cool. Now, Kim, we've got one more thing I would really love to go over on this podcast. You've talked about a Dream 100 strategy for referrals. And this is almost like what we've covered in this episode so far is like how to get more referrals out of your existing clients or people that you work with from there. And this is a bit of a different spin on it. So I'll let you lead the way on this one.
Yeah, and this is obviously, there's many people that have reinvigorated this strategy, if you will, and they've gone and taken it. It's like Russell Brunson's done it and things like that. But Chet Holmes was the originator of this strategy, and it's like identifying like the top 100 people that you would want to send your dream clients, and doing a package together and going after them. So I'm just very blessed that like probably 5 out of my top 10 in my Dream 100 I work directly with. But what I've gone and just about to launch, because I haven't focused on this enough and put it in place properly, is I've gone and found the rest of the people that I want to be in my Dream 100 just send me clients. I put together a gift pack for them. So what I've got is something articulating and explaining exactly how I foresee that we could work together in the most ideal way, and the people that I want them to send to me. Exactly. I'm like, I want you to send me people like this, and not every partner is going to send me the same people when I have a differentiation in my message to each one of them. But then I've also tied in, because I know a lot of them are gift receiving people from their love language. So I've chosen like a custom gift for every single one. I'm going, cool, what do I know about them? Done some research, found a little gift to go with that. to reinforce that strategy to then enable them to be able to refer me the most ideal clients that I'm looking for. But I've also made sure going, who are they working with? Great. How can I articulate which of my product or services I want them to help me and send me referrals for, and who of their audience is most ideal for that as well?
That is absolutely killer. So I just want to break this down. So Dream 100 strategy is that you make a list of your Dream 100 clients. So we're revamping that, and we're going to say we're going to have our Dream 100 referral partners. We're then putting together a gift pack, a personalized gift pack, so something specific to that person. And we're sending that over to them in a way that articulates the type of clients that you want for your business in this case, or how you can do more work together.
I'm doing a video card for them. So I'm going to have a video card that has my logo and it's like, hey, and then space for their name. I'll write their name in, and then they open it and it plays a personalized video from me being like, hey, Charlie, you're a boss, man. I love working with you. I really want to grow my X program and I'm looking for this type of person. So I would love if you could send me more people like that. And I'd be willing to rewarding you in any way that you want possible. Down below is my calendar link if you want to book in a time and we can have a chat and see how we can make this a win-win for both of us. Chat to you soon.
I'm just going to say it, Rimba.
Yeah.
That is so Rimba. But when I look to it, okay, like in your average day or my average day, like that stuff doesn't happen to me. There ain't gift baskets flowing through this door. Like that's going to really stand out in the average business owner's life. And it'd be very hard not to take that seriously. So I think that is an absolutely killer strategy, Kim. I think that is something that you can scale, number one. There is a little bit of your time involved, but I think if you want good referral partners, it's got to come from you. This is not something you want from the team. This is something you want to take on board. But the potential gains from getting this right are just huge. Like of that Dream 100 list, let's pretend you get 10%. 10 people turn into great referral partners and someone you could potentially do joint ventures with. Dude, that could be all the business you ever need.
Exactly. That could be, and I was doing the numbers on it the other day. It's like, let's just say that they send you one lead, and it's like the close rate would be close to 100% on the good referral quality leads. Like if you get 10 new clients a month coming in from 10 people every month, that's 100 new clients a year. As you said, like really, that covers, like, you don't have to run any more Facebook ads at all, right? And so you do that, all these things in conjunction with, then it's just like things can go crazy.
Oh, here's the thing. If you did that strategy and you got 100 leads, but you got every one of those leads a great experience and they referred you one client, bang,
Boom.
you've just doubled your outputs. So incredibly impressive, Kim. I love that spin on it. This episode, we're going to have to wrap it up from here, dude. We've exceeded our time allocation. People will start dropping off. I don't know why you guys don't hang around after 30 minutes. This is often when our best information comes. But that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Confessions of a Business Owner. We have been talking about how to get more referrals for your business.
Adios.